This is not a weapon I expected to be fun or strong for multiple reasons. One is obvious, it's Kraken, and we all remember how it was when we first got Kraken and how it felt like it's better throwing potatoes at enemies than shooting that. Second factor is a burst fire. Most weapons with burst fire are not all that great. But as I did that 5-former grind to reach level 40 with Kuva Kraken, I noticed it's hella strong, but with the right build, it's actually fun. It kicks like a mule, and I don't think that's fun to play around. So I just had to completely negate it with secondary dead hit and a recoil mod in an Exiles slot. With that, weapon is perfectly steady, even during alt fire. Yes, weapon has somewhat of a hidden alt fire mode, where it just empties an entire magazine and you can add ADS during that. If Flex was considered a deagle of warframe, this is probably a Glock. The rest of the build is kinda what you'd expect. Critical stuff, multi-shot, viral and heat, lethal torrent, but for damage I chose galvanized shot. With total multi-shot over 4 and the burst fire that shoots 3 bullets at a time, you're shooting at least 12 projectiles per trigger, making this effectively a shotgun. So overwhelming enemies with status is what this weapon does. I even put magnetic ledge element to see how much it helps versus Corpus, and it's a lot. Otherwise, I think radiation would be a good choice too, just to add different status for galvanized shot. And this build is fun, as long as you don't pay attention to your ammo economy, which is a dumpster fire. With 20 shots in a magazine, it looks like something, but you shoot 3 shots in a burst, so you are reloading more than you thought you would, and eating through those supplies of ammo like it's nothing. With Recoil Exiles mod being mandatory to make this weapon work, in my opinion, you can see one of its pitfalls. Without the Recoil Exiles mod, alt fire becomes more of a meme and less of a useful thing. You can compensate for that by using carrier, of course, but here in the video I'm not using it to show just how much it eats. Worth mentioning is that this is mostly steel path, so it's pushing the ammo economy of the weapon. My Riven has cold damage and critical damage. In my eyes, perfect Riven would have either cold or toxin, and with it, multi-shot and punch through. But I can't seem to find it. You can just use cold instead of a Riven if you want to mimic this build without the Riven. But also with a Riven it shouldn't be too hard, because Rivens for this weapon cost less than an Orc and Catalyst and the 5-former that you already put on the weapon. Also, weapon is mostly impact damage, so you can't expect much scaling beyond what damage and status will give you. Which is still pretty far, but I'd rather set your expectations right. I haven't tried using impact as a lich bonus and going for hemorrhage to see if scaling improves. Let me know if you tried it, because it does seem to have a potential. Kuva Kraken already has 75% of its damage as impact, so maybe? It's not going to be an epitaph, but memeing around with a Glock and warframe sounds fun. For impact build, because we wouldn't use elementals and we'd have few slots extra, I'd probably even overkill the magazine size with the prime magazine mod as well as Riven stat to add to it, just for a drum mag feel of a Glock. That's it for this one. Subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.